Is it possible for me to make $50 a day using Turo and my old Honda Odyssey minivan? Wait, what's Turo? Turo, the platform, and the application? If you have, click yes in the comment section below. If you haven't heard of Turo, comment below with the word no. Let me know what you think. So for those of you that don't know, Turo is an online platform that allows people with cars to list them for rentals, short-term rentals, right? So if you got a spare car and you want to rent it out because you're not using it, you can place it on Turo and make it available for people that are looking for cars. Likewise, if you're in the market to rent a car, you can go to Turo as a consumer and end user and search for cars in your area, specifically maybe a certain thing that you're looking for, whether it's a regular car or a truck, SUV, an exotic car, things of that nature. And so you'll find that there's a lot of different car types here. So this is the website, Turo.com, and you can see you can either list your car or you can actually look for a car to rent. And you can specify with the location, date and time that you want it made available, and for how long you're going to keep it. And this is, they claim to be the world's largest car sharing marketplace. And from what I can tell, that's more than likely that's true. And so it gives you the ability to look for cars that, for the end user, it gives them the ability to look for cars that they want to rent because they're going to be in a specific location and they want to have a certain type of vehicle. Or on the other side of it, right? So if you've got a spare vehicle and it's just sitting there and you want to look at some options of, hey, can you rent it out and make a few dollars per day? This would be one of those platforms where you could do that. So this is considered like an Airbnb for vehicles. You can see they've got cars listed by category: regular cars, classics, convertibles, exotic and luxury cars, minivans, sports cars, SUVs, trucks, right? So pretty much any type of car or truck or vehicle that you're looking for is available. However, keep in mind that the actual inventory in your area or wherever you may be looking is going to be limited by the owners in that particular area that are making their vehicles available. So what is this all about? Well, as I mentioned before, Turo is an online platform that provides a method for people that own cars to rent them out to people that are looking for cars. And it's cars, trucks, SUVs, it's sports cars, it's classic cars, it's exotic cars, it's utility vehicles, it's minivans. So it's the full range of vehicles that allows this platform to work so well by connecting the people with the spare vehicles to the people that need vehicles, right? So think of it as the Airbnb or the VRBO for the car rental industry, right? So it's actually part of an industry, right? So this is an alternative to traditional car rental, whether it's Hertz, Budget, some of these are these other rental companies, car rental companies. Now we have a platform that provides more of a person-to-person type rental situation, right? So we had the housing market with Airbnb, where people rented out houses or their room in a house to individuals that are looking for a place to stay while they're on vacation or on travel on a short-term basis. Well, now we have Turo, which provides similar type service. Say if you've got a spare car, people with spare cars can now rent them out on a short-term basis to people that are maybe on vacation, they're visiting a new spot, they're on day travel, and just for whatever reason they need a rental car, and this provides a quick and easy mechanism that's different than the traditional car rental companies. So what do I like about it? Well, I like that for myself, I've got a spare car sitting in the garage, and now I can rent it out, right? So I can take advantage of the fact that I've got an asset that I can use to actually generate some extra income, right? So that car that's just sitting there because I'm either driving my primary car, or I'm at home, or I'm someplace else and I'm not using it. Now I have an option to take advantage of, right? So I can take that car that's just there, rent it out, and use it as a mechanism for me to generate some extra income. One of the first questions I get asked about, why would I do this? Or, what about the insurance? If somebody that you rent the car to wrecks the car or damages the car, what happens? Well, that was one of the first questions I had. Well, it turns out Turo has a mechanism where every car that gets rented, people that with extra cars put their car up for rental. Every time that car gets rented during that transaction, Turo provides additional insurance, or they have insurance for that car now. But keep in mind, let me caveat that by saying that right now that insurance coverage is only available in the United States or Canada, and that's it at this point in time. So while Turo may be available outside of the US or Canada, the insurance coverage right now, the automatic insurance coverage, only works within the United States or Canada. So please keep that in mind. Only United States or Canada. So basically North America. But with that being said, now that we've got the insurance question answered, the other thing I like about it is it's a really simple and easy to use app or platform, right? So it basically takes people who have cars that register their cars on this application, and then for people who need a car and they don't want to go through a traditional company, they just bring up the app on their phone and find a car that they want to rent to. Now, why would they do this? Well, traditional car companies, if you're not aware, you have to be 25 years old or older to rent a car. Well, what if you're 24? What do? You can't rent a car? Well, they do have an underage option. Some of the companies have an underage option, but you pay additional money to get that, to be able to do that. With this Turo application, right? So you can be 19 years old and rent a car. They've got the, as long as you have the right identification and you pay the right amount of money, and you get vetted by Turo. So Turo vets the youth people that are renting cars, and so it makes it really simple now for individuals to rent a car from other individuals that have a spare car that are looking to make some extra money. So it's kind of a nice way to connect the two different groups together and allow, this is what we're in the internet age, and so we can do things like this. And me renting my car out, I can make some extra money. And for an individual looking to get a car, they can rent my car, right? So, and there's a whole range of cars you can pick and choose from. So this could be used by people looking to rent a car, but the other option that I'm more interested in looking at right now, if we scroll to the bottom, is being able to share your car and earn some extra cash. So making your vehicle available for rent and getting paid off of other people using your car on a short-term basis, and you collecting money from it. So that's what I'm more interested in, is taking advantage of this capability to connect me as a car owner and finding people that want to rent my vehicle from me, making this available for them. If you're interested, you can come over to TURO.com and you can actually check how much you can earn, and there's a little calculator that kind of gives you a general idea of what you can earn, and that's based off the vehicle that you have. You simply plug in what kind of car you have. Let's say you've got a let's just say you've got a Honda minivan, right? So a Honda Odyssey, and you're in Los Angeles. How much can you expect to make? So they're going to estimate that you'll be able to book your van for about 8.3 days, so 8 days out of a month, and you'll earn about $48 per day. And so in 1 month you'd earn $402. Now these are estimates. There's no guarantee, but if we change some of these parameters, right? So say instead of Los Angeles, what if we do someplace a little bit smaller, What if we do, oh, here's US average. So if you, this is going to take into account, say, an average city within the United States. Um, what can you expect with that same vehicle, right? So it's 9.4 days per month, right? So it's outside of LA. This is more the average. So in LA, you can expect to see more exotic cars, sports cars like that. But overall, within the United States, you're looking at just over 9 days per month where you can rent your minivan, earning about $54 per day, which yields you $503 per month, right? So you've got this quick calculator. So if you've got a car that you want to, consider renting out, you can actually go ahead and plug it in here, give it the year, the make, the model, pick a city that's near where you're at to kind of give you an idea, because the geographic location does matter. And then if there's anything special about it, you can actually select some of the trim levels, and you'll get an idea of what you might be, what the potential is for renting your vehicle. They've also got some pre-programmed earnings here. So let's say you have a Toyota Prius and you want to rent it out, right? So it'll actually plug the numbers in and give you a quick calculation and give you an idea. And then obviously you can adjust some of the parameters to meet your particular needs. So this is TURO.com. Largely puts people that are looking to rent cars from owners that have cars to rent. And for my particular need, I'm looking at it as a platform, an online platform where I can make some extra cash using a spare vehicle that I have sitting around my house. So some of the other things that I think are worth mentioning, some of the things I think about related to Turo and renting a car and putting my car up for rent. Number one, I wish there were some other platforms like Turo. I'd like to see some competition, at the same level. Because I think competition would be healthy, right? So what it does is it forces the company to keep their quality of service up, right? So you want to make sure that whoever Turo and the competitor is has the right, provides the right level of service, and it also helps to keep the prices low. From an end user perspective, that's good as well. Now, people tell me there's things like Zipcar or Car2Go or Get Around, and I'm aware of those, but they're not at the same level as Turo. Right, so Get Around, for example, I believe at the time that I'm recording this, is only available within 8 cities within the United States. So it has a very limited footprint or availability. Things like Zipcar, you had to have. There's a membership you need to join, and then there's all these rules and regulations, and so I think it's a little bit more cumbersome, not as convenient. But the bottom line is, I wish there was another Turo competitor or Turo-like competitor, and I think that would help. Next, I'd only do this if, as a person with a spare car, I would only do this and make my car available if I have my car paid off. And I can't emphasize that enough. If my car's paid off and it's a spare car and it's just sitting there in my garage, only then would I even consider doing something like this. And I don't want to do it with a car that I've got a loan on, I'm currently making payments on, and I know people do this. So I know there's people that are very successful that rent out their cars and they're still making payments on them, and more power to them. But for myself, if I have a car and I'm making payments on it and I'm at the same time turning around and renting it out, the money that I'm renting it out for, right? Some of that gets eaten up. So some of those profits get taken away because I'm now making payments on that car still. And it may be that, my payments far exceed what I'm getting the rent, what I'm renting it for. And that might be okay, if you're looking to subsidize being able to own that car because the payments are so high and you want to get some extra cash from it. You can rent it out, and whatever you can rent for can be applied towards there. For myself and my situation, I'm not looking to do that, right? So if I'm still paying on a car because I don't fully own the car and yet I'm renting it out, I'm letting strangers use my car, drive it around. It just, for myself, it doesn't work. But and I would recommend to other people that they're looking to do this to only rent out a car, or rent out and make available a car that you own outright, and it's fully paid off. It's not your primary car, and then but you have to take into account some of the financial considerations before you do it as well. So look at the bigger picture. Don't just look at, hey, I can rent it out and get $50 a day. Look at the bigger picture and say, yeah, I can get $50 a day, but how many days can I rent it for? We saw that online calculator where it showed an estimate of, if you got a car XYZ and you could rent it out and get 10 days worth of rentals, you can approximately make this amount of money. But take into account, you've got car insurance, car registration, you've got maintenance, wear and tear on the vehicle, new tires, oil and filter, and all of that stuff gets used up a lot more quickly because you are renting it out. So the car gets more miles on it. It gets a lot of wear and tear, and so those factors need to be taken into account. So don't jump into this lightly saying, hey, I'm just going to rent my car and get $50 a day. Do it with your eyes wide open. Take it and say, hey, if I rent my car out and I can get $50 a day and I can rent it out for $10 a day, or for 10 days out of the month, right, at $50 a day, so that's an extra $500 a month, will that help me cover my expenses for my vehicle, right? So if I don't have a car payment, which I'm telling you, don't do this unless you fully paid off your car, will that $500 a month cover all my insurance, my car registration, all the maintenance, the additional maintenance I'll have to take into account? So look at the bigger picture, and then decide for yourself if this is something you might want to do. Hi, quick announcement. We're super excited about this new ebook titled 20 Ways to Make an Online Income. If you're stuck thinking about different ways that you can work from home, get this free ebook. It's real simple. All you do is visit TEACHucation.com/free ebook and we'll send it right out to you. You can also click a link in the description below. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button. And also, be sure to subscribe so you'll get access to all my videos. And then click on the bell icon so you'll get notified every time I release a new video with more tips, tricks, hints, and secrets. If you have a dream of working from home, make a plan, take action on that plan, and start living your dream. Hey, so I got a quick legal disclaimer here. The content that I'm sharing with you should not be construed as financial or legal advice. What I'm giving you is strictly for educational purposes only. So if you need to, please consult with a qualified professional regarding your specific situation.